The Platform is a brand new Netflix original. I think it's a Netflix original. It had the little N by Netflix on it. So I'm sure Netflix probably didn't fund this and they just bought the rights to it. I don't know what it is, but I watched the movie and I enjoyed the shit out of it. And I definitely recommend it highly. Now, that is, of course, if you're into science fiction type horror. I would say the science fiction element of it is fairly light. Um, it kind of reminds me. Now, the film is pretty original, and it's not in English. Don't know exactly. I think I don't remember what language it's in. I really don't care. But it was damn good, man. I was really engaged throughout. The only issue I had with the film at all would be how it wrapped things up, just because I had so many questions and felt like I didn't get enough of them answered. But it would still be a fun film to explore. Now, this is about it. It's funny too, because my dad walked in about halfway through this film and sat down and was like trying to watch it with me, and he's like, "What's going on?" And so I paused it and I was trying to explain, and I was like, "God damn, man, this is a hard movie to explain." I went in blind, and I highly recommend that you do the same. But if you want some kind of a plot synopsis, here we go. I'll do my best here. There is a prison that you go to for a certain amount of months. Everybody's is different, of course, like any prison. And it is set up on a tier level. So there is level 1, and each cell is a level. And there's 2 people to each level. And the levels go down on top of one another, so on and so forth. There is a square hole in the floor. If you've ever looked down a stairwell and you see like multiple levels down, you can see like the square hole that you would fall through if you jumped through the middle of it. It looks like that if you look down. So it's like a big square donut that you're on top of. And there's, levels. You don't know how many levels it goes down. Once a month, you're switched to a different level. Now, food comes down on the platform. So a platform lowers down into each. It stays in the room for about a minute, as far as I could surmise. And there is food on this, like this bounty of food, right? So on level 1, they have access to the most food. It's brand new, it's amazing, but you only have a certain amount of time to eat. And if you try to keep any of the food, the room will kill you. So you have to, you can't hoard anything, you can't take anything off and keep it. As it gets to the second level, obviously there's a little less food, so on and so forth. And as it goes down, you start to have less and less and less and less, and people become more and more and more desperate. And every time that you wake up, if your roommate is still alive, you still have that roommate. If your roommate is not, you get a new cellmate, should I say. So that's as much as I'm going to say about it. Now, this is absolutely a social commentary kind of film. The people at the top get it all, and if we were able to ration our food and we were able to ration things, everyone could have something, or very few could have everything. I mean, the writing is on the wall. I mean, it's very obvious what this film is trying to say. But I was always engaged. I was always interested. I was always there in the film, just like, oh shit, what's next? What's next? What's going on? It kind of reminded me of Cube a little bit. A really great execution of one location, making it look like multiple locations, because it's just every room, every cell would look exactly the same as you go down. So you could just build one cell, and then you can shoot it in there, and that's 1,000 cells if you want. So very smart on a budgetary restraint kind of level. If you're writing a lower budget film, you can expand how many rooms people are in without actually building a new room. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's always cool. That's why I think Cube is just masterful in that way. you just change the lighting in the room and it makes it look like you're in a different cube, and you just filmed the entire film in one room, but you've made it seem like the guys were in 3,000 different rooms. Brilliant, just brilliant stuff from a filmmaking standpoint. And this film does the same thing in a lot of ways. So I really liked our main character here. Also, people are only allowed to bring in one thing. They can bring in pretty much anything, but they're only allowed to bring in one thing. This guy, I don't want to say, I'm going to stop it there. I'm not going to say anything more about this movie. I feel like anything more might be considered spoilery. But yeah, as long as you're into somewhat odd science fiction horror flicks that are in a different language, I couldn't recommend it higher. I think it's fantastic. As I said, I just felt like there will be people for sure that when the movie ends, they're gonna be like, that's it? What? Where's the answers? What the fuck? What happened now? What, because it ends in a place where you're like, okay, I want to know what happens next, and you don't get to know. And it's like, what? Well, then what does that mean? And where does it begin? Blah, blah, blah. Like, 100%, I agree with you. Now, should we have the answers? I don't know. I'd have to watch it a couple more times to really kind of dig into what they were trying to say, or where I could maybe go, okay, now that I've seen this and this, and there is a clue that just popped into my mind when I was taking a shower not 20 minutes ago, because of the number of rooms and the number of people. Just think about that when you watch. You'll see. And I was like, okay, maybe that's what they're going with. Because something at the end doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I'm super confused on how it's possible, but this is a film I would love to discuss with people who have seen it. So definitely see in the comments below. Absolutely, the platform on Netflix, check it out. You got nothing else to do right now, so get on it.